what do we have here? Oh, Neutron Shark, Time Traveler, Interdimensional Graft, 3 helper bots. Okay, we're onto something here. We have a Vault Keeper, a Grey Rider, double Ronnie. Okay, there's a lot of great tools. Let's see how we start. So, if you're DeMentalist, what do you start with now? Dust Chronicle? Probably Dust Chronicle, and I'm archiving the interdimensional graft. Or not? What did you archive? The Coward's End? Not a bad option either. I'm more thinking the interdimensional graft, or maybe, oh, no. Well, actually, it ends up quite good because the ZYX, you can play graft, ZYX, and archive back to graft. So you've got a lot of tools back in your archive and still got the chance to use them later on. Well, you remove the surprise, of course. But, hell, still works, huh? I think this is what I'm doing here. Let's see. Okay. Cutthroat graft, archive the graft. Perfect. This is exactly what you should do. And now, probably Logo's turn. I want to say, well, actually, no shadows. Okay. And you life, yeah, you play Ronnie. You life for a life Ronnie, and next turn you ZYXM. Yeah, hopefully hoping that the opponent doesn't. Ah, no, because the life for life goes on top. It doesn't work like that. So now we have the Brobner turn. So we play the Screech Bomb, play the Grand Buggy, and the Grok. And now we can see the key cost start getting high and high and high. But you got the Sting early. Having the Sting on key 2 is already extremely dangerous. I mean, I've got a ton of Sting decks and I absolutely love the card. But too many times have I been tempted to put it down just before key 2, and then all of a sudden sensing the game actually picking up pace, accelerating until, well, you're pretty much stuck and there's nothing you can do. So it's a testimony to say you need to be extremely careful with the Sting, and having it at the beginning of the game is really positive for the Mentalist. What should I do? Probably Nerve Blast creatures and play the Sting and hang on to Ronnie. Maybe that's the right play. Yeah. But that's Hartmanator to play. Lamindra, throwing stars, getting the Ember, putting 1 damage. Oh, look, that's a bit silly. If you're having your opponent that has a Coward's End, the last thing you want is putting 1 damage on a Grok. I know he's thinking that's probably 1 less attack he can do using its power, but I think it's a mistake. Killing the Lamindra is good because you stop Grok from just going silly attacking elusive creatures, but probably you don't want to make it just a cruel Coward's End protected creature. And now, as I was thinking, the Mentalist is playing the shadows. And does he play the full hand? Nerve Blast, Grey Rider, that's obvious. Nerf Blast the Yahtzee gang, play the run. Okay, he plays the whole thing. Cool. And now he discards the Sting. I mean, it's now or never. And basically, he says never because he goes to 6. Fair enough. But he can't forge because he's got 7 anyway, so what is it going to be? You play the Vault Keeper, which is... And you protect it, because Rotais has Taunt, right? Taunt and Hazardous 4. This is a really cool card. Unfortunately, it's an uncommon, but if you're thinking between that and Lieutenant Karkar, I mean, Rotais is much better. It's just more rare, but much better. And now you have a Vault Keeper protected. And nobody can forge, but that's probably Cowards and Time. Let's see. Yeah, Cowards and Time. You probably want to kill the Yahtzee gang. And I think now you're regretting the Nerf Blast on that creature. Maybe it would have been even better Nerf Blasting your own creature. I mean, my personal experience is I've got a lot of decks with 1 or 2 Cowards End, and I tend to like to deal 1-2 damages on my creatures using the Throwing Stars, using the Nerf Blast, using the Cooperative Huntings, and all these cards to just like ping damages left and right, just to put them in a position where we can do something. But Time Traveler turn. That's cool because I think he needed to see a little bit more cards. Master Theory is if you have no. That's shame. I don't know if he had it at the start of its turn, but it would have been really cool to archive a bunch of cards. But probably too much for the moment. Okay, he can. The Waxy archive a card, but he hasn't archived the Master of the Theory. It didn't make sense. I would probably have played the Interdimensional Graph and archived it like his opponent. That would have been probably a better play. Yes, you're telegraphing the Interdimensional Graph, but I think it's worth it. And you get almost a full Shadow Sand for next turn. Really cool. And you're at full. So now what do? Oh, play drop now. The bingo kills the board, and now you can just reap. Play the Screech Bomb. Okay, why now? Not sure. But I mean, I still think there's a moment where you want to play this Interdimensional Graph and the Runner's Flock. They would have less value. Having not played they would have more value if you hadn't played the Screech Bomb. But that's just maybe that just means that he wants to control the board with his Rognar until the time is right to play the rest. I don't think you have enough creatures to do that. It's going to be extremely slow. And you have these guys. And that's guards. This guy is I don't have a card like that. I think it's really cool. I don't have it in the Hideaway Hole. Yeah, not very relevant. And you're bringing them to 2. So guard these guys could be triggered, and that's not an Omni, that's an action, yes. So probably a good idea to get rid of this board. It's actually a catch-22 here. If you get rid of the board, then you probably expose yourself to the guard these guys. If you don't get rid of the board, then you have Little Nif and Ronnie and Umbra that can do create some problems for you. So what do you do? And you have your opponent that can pretty much play his whole hand next turn, so you're going to be in a world of trouble in any case. That's really tough. I would probably play Brob now because I want to make the board as little attractive as possible for my opponent. But yeah, interesting. Playing Lamindra, making Groggins and King of the Crag elusive. That's not too bad. You keep the keys cost high. And now your opponent has a tough choice to make. These AOA duels, with the level of AOA that we find on this pref, will make for very cerebral games. What should worry Hartmanator at this point is he's gone almost through two-thirds, or through more than two-thirds of his deck, and it's only a 3 Ember, no key. While DeMentalist has already a key. And the threats are still real. So what do you do to change the situation? I'm thinking I would probably play Shadows. Kill the Lamindra with Umbra and Little Nif to remove the elusive, Umbra to kill the Lamindra. Reap with Ronnie. Use the Guardian Disguise, or just use it actually, and well, logos. That's an option as well. You can play your board. You can play your whole hand. Then you can keep the third robot. And that's why I'm also fascinated with AOA. It's got this space and so many interesting tools, and in the right decks, it makes for very interesting situations. Much more cerebral than the fast and loose Kota. Definitely. Okay, and now we've got the helper bot play. Probably going to help about the Healing Blast for one, the take all stages, and I would juggle the doorstep. I don't think there's a good solution on DeMentalist side to avoid yeah, that's what he's doing. To bring back the Jargoggle in hand, so I think that's the better option. Yep, and going to 5. And getting a cool hand, and a big problem for his opponent in the shape of a Neutron Shark. And that means probably next turn is going to be a logos turn, and that is going to be a big problem. Research Merkle, Sadakin, Hexpion, because if you're playing Shark now, how many logos have you left in your deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where's the HFFS? That's not going to be for now. I don't think you kill the Ground Buggy now. I think you hold on to it. Oh. Actually, this is exactly what's going to happen. I think it's wrong, but I would have played. I would probably have played something else, probably the Sanctum, because I want to keep my Shark for a round where I'm not going to risk to discard a lot of logos cards. Okay, Brobnars can't trip next turn. Pretty good. Place Helper Bot. What do you play? I'll probably Rotais next to the Umbra. That would be interesting. And I'm thinking, now is a good time to steal 3. Or not, maybe not. Maybe actually you can just rip yourself to salvation. You play the Neutron Shark, and you destroy. I think you played the Neutron Shark a little bit too early, unless... Oh, he destroyed his hideaway hole. Okay, fair enough. And it's one of these cases where you have a deck with Neutron Shark and a lot of artifacts. It's actually pretty good. Then Hallowed Shield. Ability resolves again. Okay, what do you destroy now? Discard Swindle? Okay, it doesn't have the HFFS. I thought the Help from Future Self hadn't been played yet. Am I getting this wrong? It's the last card in the deck, and he's going to lose it. Okay, so now what do you destroy? I think everything's bad. Probably a big Brobnar creature. Maybe the King of the Crag. Or do you want to... I would kill the King of the Crag or the Lamindra, maybe. Either to get rid of the elusive or to... Yeah, risk locks. Okay. She probably wants to avoid a big Shadow's turn next turn. Reaps. And then what do you do? What do you do? Do you just accelerate? Are you just ready to do that? I mean, you need to bait the, and you have your doorstep to heaven under the Jar Goggle. So why not just... Okay, rotate, and you protect... Okay, fair enough. I'm thinking, maybe you're afraid of the burn the stockpile in the end. Maybe this is what you're playing around. Because for interdimensional graft and the other, you're fine. Yeah, okay, Rip with Expion, Wake with the Urge, Smoko. Got a Helper Bot, draws a card. The Strange Gizmo is not too bad. I gotta think about it, because chances are next round is playing again the Logos turn, and what do you hold on to now? You need to get to your second key as soon as possible. There's still a third game to be played, and right at this moment, you need your second key. You really need to get it as soon as possible. I think you go as high as you can, and you don't care. You still have your TMTP in your deck. There's no point in holding on to the interdimensional graft here. At the same time, 7 is not enough. Your opponent just has to play shadows, and you're out. He plays interdimensional graft. Okay, interesting. So we have a Forge. And now you have a very good play with Logos, where you can start building your next key and keep on destroying your opponent's board with the Shark, or you just put him off check with the Shadows. And Hartmanator goes for Shadows. And I think it's a pretty good choice. But we're reaching a point where actually his Sanctum becomes a problem, because he's got a lot of cards that bring him very little control, very little options in his hand, and he's playing all the useful things in Logos and Shadows, and may run out of steam, or may end up being at the end of a turn stuck with the wrong keys, the wrong cards in hand, and that could be really detrimental to his play, because this is really slowly building up, and his Sanctum is a little bit problematic if he doesn't have the doorstep in hand, and the problem is the doorstep is under the Jar Goggle. So I would almost be tempted to kill the Jar Goggle at that point. Yeah, and now he's got HFFS. So we're not quite there, so there's a problem. Okay, so obviously no Forge with all that's been stolen. And well, you can pretty much do the symmetric play, but no. You fight Umbra. You kill Umbra with Smoko. You play your man chip. I would probably jar Goggle, Rip with Expion, Rip with Fila, play your jar Goggle, place a card. Oh, what was it? I think it was a. Gamgee. I think it was the Gamgee. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the Gamgee. And interesting. That's almost too perfect. So now, what do you do if you're Hartmanator? I think you've got one option, which is clearly putting back one more turn with shadows, stealing 2. But what does it take you? Puts you on check, and that's it. And pretty much he goes to 5, you're on check. Or you go logos, and you get as much as you can. And hope, well, now he has this too much to protect, so you have to think about that as well. Or you just need to go to 6, but you can't go to 6 because your opponent has too much to protect nerve blast, and you know that. So you just need to make it last a little bit longer. So we go again into this kind of Cold War, where everybody's playing, staying around 5-6, trying to bait the other to play the big cards, but they have too many big cards. So as soon as you play too much to protect, you draw into your bundle stockpile, you draw into your interdimensional graft, and conversely, you have a similar type of situation. But you're at a point where you're thinking whether or not you want to end your turn at 6 or 7, and you send that at 6 because of the bundle stockpile and because of the TMTP. That makes a lot of sense. And the opponent, let me guess, plays Umbra, uses the Yahtzee gang, goes to 6, and probably stick with the rest. Am I right? I think they're in a deadlock here. I think they're going to realize that they're going to do this kind of Umbra situation until somebody unlocks it for them. Placed a nerf blast. Actually, ooh, to kill the neutron shark. That's interesting. And the backup copy has been played on the Lolop because you're planning your big Brobna turn. And the combo between having a hand full of Brobna with the Gengar and the Dreadnought while Strange Gizmo is in play is fascinating. And yeah, what do you do now? The ball's going to be wiped unless you do something about it. You can always kill the Jargogle, go back to 6 with your logos. That's your option. That's your option now. That's a really, really cool game. A really difficult one, but absolutely fascinating. But I'm afraid DeMentalist needs to keep in mind that he absolutely needs to win this game and give himself enough time to play the last round. And we have 30 minutes left. Yeah, Hartmanator made a decision. He's playing interdimensional graph. Okay, so he wants to get one ember out of this. He's letting him forge the second key, which is, well, risky. What do you do here? it's not going to work. What you do with your creature is absolutely pointless. You want to go to 6. You doorstep. I'm confused. Why do you play IG if you doorstep? Go back to 6. Okay. And you're in your turn. So the situation has changed by somewhat very little, except that you played all your tools. So now, if I'm DeMentalist, I need to rush Ember. That's the plan now. Except that if I rush Ember, I'm actually exposing myself because... okay, playing Broad now. Okay, playing Lollop. Okay, now you kill the board. Cool. Finally. Rip twice. You want to rush the Ember now. Your opponent forges his key. You're at 7. That's tricky. And now we went from 1 key for DeMentalist to 0 to Hartmanator to 2 keys to Hartmanator. Am I getting this right? I think so. Now you steal 3 and you bring him back to 4. And replace Little Nif, you get up to 4 and you pretty much blocked him there. That's really tough. And you still have the Strange Gizmo in play, so how far can you go with your... I think you have to play now. I think you have to use your board now. You can't wait. You need to go as high as you can, right now. Maybe kill the Little Nif, that's all. But all the rest needs to go. That's what I would do. Kill the Rotais, keep the Little Nif and the 2 helper bots to get as many rounds you can get out of Juggernaut. And or alternatively, what he's doing, which is fight Little Nif, yeah, kill Little Nif. Yeah, you need to kill Little Nif in any case. Okay, you're at 6. You're on a really tight rope now. You're planning on this is a big dream. So your plan is you can forge next round, and you're going to be able to, and you discard burns of stockpile. I think you need to draw into something. Yeah. You've got 2 dead cards, pretty much with Cutthroat and Interdimensional Graft. You need to get rid of them as soon as possible. As soon as possible. But you've got some pretty decent options. So what is your opponent going to do? Hartmanator plays the Hope from Future Self. Shoop. Will reshuffle his deck. Time Traveler. Boom. Plays a Time Traveler. anywhere, doesn't really matter. He will go to 6. So going to 6 is a major problem. And I think actually this is game. If he goes to 6, I think this is game. He played incredibly around the strange gizmo. Okay, what do you juggle? It doesn't really matter. Probably planning to archive the throwing stars. Yep, got it. This is game. I don't know. I don't see how DeMentalist can come back from that. He forges second key, wipes the board, and that's it. His last chance is what Expion has archived, and that's set a kin. Oh, no. There was also the Jar Gogo, but now it's GG. Because the Ganji arrives tapped, and yeah, that's GG.